Hey guys, how's it going? This is your boy ExtrmWill with Extreme Tech. I've had some questions on what do I use for my systems and how do I build them. So we'll take a quick look at kind of how to go through and do it. Maybe it won't be a quick look. It'll probably be a more advanced look, and I'm probably going to get really long-winded. But for the most part, I'm trying to specialize this out for Salad AI. See, earnings kind of been all over the place. I'm having a problem the last 2 days, like 4 or 5 o'clock, losing power on a whole bunch of my machines. I don't know why. Definitely looking like it's a problem. Yesterday's not too bad. Looks like I pretty much had fully recovered. And then today is not looking so good. We'll see where this winds up at. I may make another earnings video later tonight. I may go more in depth into it. We'll see. We'll close that away for now. For right now, it's pretty much what we're trying to focus on. We want to build an AI machine specially focused to make money on Salad AI. So I think the cheapest way to do this is to get these Xeon 12 CPU motherboard kits from bc/pc.com. It says down here in the little picture. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to put the link in the description down below. I think it's probably the best place to start with them. When I was expanding all mine out, I started with 7 of these. While I built through all the PCs I had in the house, every single motherboard I had in the house, except for that one. I didn't touch that one because that one didn't have a chip in it yet. So I guess every combo I had, every motherboard with a chip in it already I used. I didn't use the brand new one. The brand new one's been sitting there for a while. But you don't know the brand new one's there. Well, I've talked about it in other videos. It's there. It's going to get built up in a couple of days. And then you'll see it on the channel. But on here, I think this is the easiest way to do it. You get X99 motherboard, the RAM, the chip, the cooler for $226. He's talking about redoing this. He might lower the price. I don't know if this is the lower price. Do I have the old price written down on here? I thought I did. The old price I had written down was $227. So when I bought mine, these were $1 more expensive. I think he was talking about reworking it because he's Brandon Coyne had made a video yesterday talking about how he was going to change how he's ordering them. So he's going to do them all in lots of 20. So every time he gets an order for 20, he's going to order the 20 parts. Every time he gets 20 orders, he's going to order the 20 parts and ship out a batch. So right now, the estimate is for the next batch to be sent out, to be shipped out, should be September 24th. So if he gets a bunch of these orders in quicker, then he'll order all the parts faster. But he's building them in sets of 20. That's how he can sell these at such a low cost. But where these really start to come into play to be really good, let's bring up the calculator. Oops, it's not on this screen yet. So we're going to start this 226 as our base, and I'll keep bringing the calculator back up as we need to. So then what we need is we need to figure out how to get a power supply and an NVMe and a GPU. So luckily here on Brandon Coyne, bc/pc.com, come in here and he's got all these graphics cards. So we are going to go by category. We're going to go by tab on top, NVIDIA GPUs. And we're only going to source what's in stock. And because I'm cheap, we are going to go price low to high. So this one won't do anything. This one, I don't believe this is a mining specific card, so this one won't do anything because it's not even like in the system for somebody to rent. This 1070 might be able to get a job. I don't want to say for sure. I don't know if I've seen any of these listed. I wonder if we look up Salad AI. Will it show me on here? Google. Salad AI calculator. So yes, they do have the 1070 listed. Ooh. Where is he? Back here? So the 1070 is listed on there. So this 1070, I would say realistically, you'd probably be looking at like $1.15 with this, but you might be able to make up to $1.88. I can't say that I've actually seen a lot of the 1070s rented, but one thing I do feel like I am seeing a lot in the way these in the way the jobs look like they're coming out is customers are either buying real cheap or really expensive depending on what they need. So if there aren't a lot of 1070 8 gig cards on the network, this card might be able to silently crush it on there. Let's see, because we have this up. What other cards are on here? Somebody was telling me that they're 1650. I don't know, there's a 1615 Ti or 1650 Super. I think I've seen both of them, both on there. I've seen it both. They've made like $1.88. So I mean, like you can still make money on some of these cards. Now, like you might be stuck if you buy one of these cards or even one of these cards. You might be stuck waiting, calculating longer than you would if, say, you're using a 30 series or a 40 series card. I think the 40 series cards right now, I can't even say the 40 series cards are calculating less time than the 30 series cards are. My 30 series cards seem to be doing more work more consistently just for less money than the 40 series are. Most of these 40 series right now are making about $5. And then these 30 series right now look like they're all making, you know, $1.70 to $1.80, maybe $1.90 if you're lucky. So with these two, it looks like you can still get like those $1.80 jobs, because it looks like if you come down here where the customer says how many CPUs do you want, you know, it looks like they're all just saying I want 2 CPUs and I want, I don't know if they're just saying 4. They're just saying it cheap. They're just saying it real cheap. And does this not tell me what totals are? I guess I haven't actually used this yet. So it's still, you know, I think they're just going at it and going real cheap, and they're saying that, and then either give me the real expensive one or give me a cheaper one. Because you can see how much, this is how much the customers are paying. So this isn't how much we're paying, but they're paying us based off of this. There's different ways the customers can order, though. I think this is much closer to what the customers are possibly using to order. Well, they'll say, just give me, you know, 4 gigabytes and 2 CPUs. And then give me either a 30 series card or a 40 series card or a 20 series card or just any card, whatever cheapest. It seems a lot like that's how we're seeing the jobs break down. Oops. But if we get in here, like this card right here, you could still make money on it. I wouldn't be going out buying a bunch of 10 series cards for this. $90 isn't necessarily bad if you're on a super tight budget. The 20 series cards, I think they're definitely be a little bit better of an idea to go for. Realistically, though, I would probably want to stay away from these, even though they can make money. Depending on how much of a budget you are, not the best idea. 2080 Ti, because it's so low, that might not be that bad, because that'll probably pay you more if somebody orders the 2080 Ti. That says it's at 10 cents. 3060 Ti says if they request the 3060 Ti specifically, you're only getting the 8 cents. So, but like my 3060 12 gigabyte cards, if they request that card specifically, it says they're only giving you 8 cents. But my 3060s are making more money than all of my 3090s are. And the 3090 here says it should be making, you know, almost 3 times more. So, you know, there's some weird stuff definitely in how all of this is ordered. I think if they ask for the specific card, then that's what you get. I think it's more of a benefit to us, though, that they let the 3090 get the generic 30 series jobs and orders so it can make some money instead of no money, because everything calculating is just terrible. Like, I'd rather it be on a job earning me something. So But yeah, so this might actually be a slightly better pickup than these 3060 Ti's are here. But these 3060 Ti's are definitely not bad at all. 3060 would probably be what I would want a little bit more, ideally, because I think the 3060 will last a little longer for this than the 3060 Ti will, just because of the V cores. But I don't know how it works on other networks. But as far as like mining and all that goes, you know, having 3060s and 3070s, I think they can still do okay-ish if mining ever comes back. So, let's see, where's my calculator? Calculator is right here. So if we look at this, I'm going to say it's only one of these. I don't know if I really want to do that. We'll say for these 3060 Ti's, we'll say you're going to add $230 on for the GPU. Oh, I don't like that doesn't keep track of everything up there in the corner for you. Boo! But he's definitely got a lot on here. He updates us all the time. He's constantly buying people's mining farms. So right here, we're at the cost for the GPU, the motherboard, the RAM, the fan. So all you need right now is an NVMe and a power supply. If you want a case, you need a case. I don't really use them. I have a bunch of cases upstairs that I'm still not using yet because I just don't really feel like I see the point. I've got everything stored out in the closet with the open air. It's actually using a little less electricity, not in the case, because it doesn't have to power all those extra fans that it doesn't need. So, look at the big giant fan cooling everything. So then if we want to look for these other parts, I would switch. We'll go to PC Part Picker. Whenever I build a PC out or I want to look at building a new PC, this is really fundamental in what I use. I use this all the time, probably way more often than I should. Even when I get bored, like something new comes out and I go like, oh, how much is it going to cost me to build a new PC right now? I'll come in here and say, okay, like I want to build Threadripper. Oh, come on. Threadripper. We'll go price. High to low. Oh, there's a couple ones in here. Alright, 64 cores. I want it. It's probably a little more expensive than I can afford, but whatever. I'm not actually going to buy it. We're just going to build it out. Wait, let's see here. Yeah, I'm going to say I still want to build it out with the best one. So we'll say we'll build the best one. CPU cooler. I want a Noctua. I don't know how to spell Noctua. There we go. Noctua. So this will give me all of the fans then that will work for that specific machine. I probably want the one that says it can go the fastest. So it'll be this one. And motherboard, I probably won't have a whole lot of choices. I do have choices. I did not think I was going to have any. Okay, maybe I don't have that. Maybe I don't have that many choices at all. We're going to go cheap on the motherboard because I don't really feel like looking at it. So we'll just add this one. Anything that has a price on it, too, it tells you that price is linked to a specific page. So I can go to Amazon right now if I click on any of these links. And I can click this here to go to Amazon. And then I can buy this part right here from Amazon. Boom. Memory, we're just going to say... We're just going to pick something because I want to hurry up and get this all over and done with. So we're going to add this ridiculous memory kit. And storage, we're going to add first thing I see. And video card, we are definitely going to add a 4090. Sure. We'll add Asus Strix. Case, this is going to give me every option for a case. I've heard of these people before. I don't even really feel like looking at this. We'll just grab a random case. Power supply. The nice thing, this tells me my estimated power right now. So I need at least 10,053 watts. So this is telling me I would need at least a 12. So I probably want a 15. Will this even offer me a 12? So this right now will even only offer me the minimum possible that I could get on here. So we'll take this bad boy because that looks like it's plenty big enough. So it's not even giving me an option to grab parts that won't work. Once you put one part in, these parts have a potential incompatible. Okay, so I may need to update the motherboard. So this power supply might not work. They don't know if the RAM will clear the CPU cooler. So they do tell you all of your potential problems and issues down here. He's saying because it's the newer one, I may have to do a BIOS update. But it breaks it all down for you to make sure everything is compatible and everything all works together. So now that we're through the basics of how PC part picker works, it's really, really nice. I'm not going to build this, but if I was curious, if I were to build a PC right now, I would spend a lot of money. I don't even know if this is how I would do it right now for sure. When I built Skynet, this is pretty much how I did it. I didn't actually build Skynet. I figured out how much it would cost for me to do it, and then I found somebody else to do it so they could do all the custom water cooling for me. But this is definitely a nice, easy way to start trying to get everything together and to make sure all your parts are compatible. Now, I don't think we're getting anything we really need to worry about being compatible. Because all we are getting, we need a power supply. So I'm going to say first we'll look at the Titan Platinum. They do a pretty good job scouring units. This isn't necessarily everything, but they do pull from a lot of the major places, and they pull at multiple times during the day, I'm pretty sure. So like I've already noticed that if the price changes on Amazon, you'll see the price change in here, like, you know, in that day or two. So if we're going to go with this, because we're looking at building at mass scale, I don't really want a $100 power supply because I already know if we're just throwing a 3060 Ti in here, this is massive overkill. I don't need the power supply to cost more than the whole thing. So we're going to go down to gold. Even though I don't want to do gold 80 plus, we're going to do gold 80 plus. Because we're doing 3060 Ti, I don't want to do the 600 just in case we decide to upgrade the card later. We'll do the 650, and you know what? We'll do the 650 with the RGB. So that's a decent enough power supply. Super cheap. Amazon Prime. You should have it in like a day. So let's bring the calculator back up. Plus 56.99. And then we need an M.2. So this is one of these things too where this gets really, really nice. I love doing it for this. Search. I want to search for PCI. I don't really know the difference between all this, so I'm not even going to worry about it. NVMe, yes. No, not PCI. PCI is a different one. We want all NVMe. So we're going to go NVMe. Let's see, I want 1 terabyte. Is that not right? One terabyte. And then we'll go. So right now, I don't know if I've heard of them, so I don't really want to trust them. Don't know if I've heard of them. I don't want to trust them. They have some ratings. This one has 4 reviews. This one has 1 review. This one has 55 reviews. I believe I've used the silicone power. I believe I've used the specific one. Yes, I have. I think I have 7 of these right now in my thing. So here too, you can see it has the price listed for both. You have the price for Amazon and the price for Newegg for it. So we will add this to our parts list. I know for sure I've used this one a lot. This isn't the power supply I use. I need to take another look into that. I think I've been buying 800 watt power supply. That's not the calculator we're using. I'm using the calculator on the computer. So then if we add 53.97. So pretty easily, we are at a machine cost of about $566.97, $567. So that's what's still with the $235 video card. Let's see, if we start looking other places, let's go RTX 3060. RTX 3060, 12 gigabyte. And we'll do pretty much the same thing. Instead of featured, I want price low to high. So this one, I don't know if I trust this card or not. Somebody has one of these in my local Facebook marketplace for like $150, maybe it's $130. And I kind of want to go get it, and I kind of want to stay as far away from it as I possibly can. I don't know if I trust that single fan on that thing at all. I do like Pony is a brand I am starting to like a lot more. Kingpin, who's behind EVGA, the Kingpin cards, I believe he's working now exclusively with Pony to start working on making the Kingpin cards for Pony. So, like, I think they are a little bit better than we may think they are. They're not normally really known for the gaming. They were always more into what I understand. They were more in the like the industrial side. I can't think of what the proper term of that would be. But they're always more in like servers and stuff. Not necessarily as much a build for like the gaming, but I think they are pretty reliable. A couple of my cards are Ponies, and I like them, my 40 series cards. So, I don't know if I'd want to do it or not. But this is $220, so this would still be the same price. So it'd still be at the same thing. So, I mean, I'd probably 1,000 times over rather have the 3060 Ti from Brandon Coin than this one. That 3060 is too expensive. If you wanted a brand new card, $279 for this gigabyte, so that would be $50 more, $60 more. I wish this had the longer equations all written out here. I should have done the video card last. Okay, let's go minus the, what do we say? It's $235 for the video card. So we're at $332. Without GPU. So I can just keep coming back and referencing this all over again. So if, say, you wanted to buy this one right here, plus $279, you get up to $610. So that's starting to get a little bit pricey. It's not terrible though, because I don't think Facebook Marketplace you're likely to find anything still that good. You might be able to find, well, all I really can say is my area here in the Tampa area. That $600-ish area is probably what you're going to find for, it's going to be a heavily used machine, so everything we're using in this is brand new, or is pretty much brand new. Let me think about this. So the 3060 PC you'll find right now on Facebook Marketplace in my area here in Tampa, you're going to get 8 to 12 gigabytes of RAM. You're probably going to get a 1 terabyte SATA drive, which you're going to have to remove because you can't run the AI on SATA. You really want it to be on an NVMe. It can work on an SSD, but you really want it to be on an NVMe just to make sure you don't drop the job. So you're already going to need to upgrade your RAM and the power supply, which isn't necessarily terrible, except the RAM is crazy expensive. So to upgrade the RAM, you probably need to spend another $100, and you probably need you'd also need another hard drive. So you probably need to spend about $150 to upgrade that $600 used machine that you don't know what kind of shape it's really in, that you just found on Facebook Marketplace, to get to this kind of equivalent. So you've got a really, really good savings on this. I don't know if necessarily buying the card on here is the best thing to do. Why aren't these in order? Because when I said price from high to low, this $249 should have been the first one showed. All right, so let's take a look at this again. Not that I think it makes that big a difference. We'll do 332 plus. We're saying 249. This is still just for a 3060. So now you're at 581. Clear that off. Let's go 332. Let's go back to Brandon Coin and let's see what else he has in here. So, I mean, even instead of a 3060, let's say we want to go for a 3070 here. So we'll say, let's see, he has this one at 240, 255, 260. We'll take this one here at 255 because that's kind of what I feel like. Plus 255. I don't want to necessarily take like the cheapest one he has, but you can still be in at under $600 with the 3070 on the new rig. So that's not too bad. ROI on this probably going to be terrible. Actually, not that bad. Let's see. Divided by 188. So if it rained every day, you'd probably get an ROI of a little under a year. I think right now it's much better than if you look at ROI on, say, crypto mining. What is, let's go hashrate.no. GPU. Oh. Because I'm under incognito mode. It didn't save it from the last time we were in here. So let's go GPUs. NVIDIA Ampere 3070. 3070 right now. Ouch. The ROI 9,713 days. It's an ROI of 3070 right now in crypto mining. So I'm going to say our ROI here, 312 days. It's pretty nice. Now, I would imagine that's probably going to be, with how Sal's looking, that's probably going to take you a whole year. It'll probably be 365 days. Because you're not going to run every minute of every day. Once you get your uptime up there, though, everything tends to stay pretty solid and runs a lot more solid. You just need to get through that initial hump of calculating. But I would say this is definitely, this PC Shop stuff is the best place to start. And we have other things in here that we're not even going to bother looking at. The prices on Newegg are going to be the exact same price everything is on Amazon. I brought eBay up just to look, but I don't even feel like I want to look at it. PC Part Picker, though, do a real good job if you start putting in the parts that you want, trying to line everything up. But as far as building a basic guts machine, it's really how I would go about it. I think it's the easiest way to do it, the most cost effective. You can find good deals on Facebook Marketplace. I spend a ton of time on there. I spend a lot of time on eBay looking too. And a vast majority of the time I spend looking is completely wasted. Just completely wasted. And I was gonna buy a 3060 from Brandon Coyne, and then he had to go for a funeral, so I wound up not buying it from him, and then I wound up paying $40 more to just buy one off of eBay. And I bid for it, so I bid on probably 20 different graphics cards to wind up winning one of them. And all the hours I put into it was just a giant waste. If I just bought it from him, it would have saved me so much time and effort. But real life happens sometimes. So I wound up getting impatient and just did what I did. But yeah, he's normally pretty good about stuff. You know, he's got the phone number on here too, so you can call him directly. I'll put the link down in the description down below. I think that's a real good place to start. I mean, for anything too, for like any kind of crypto mining and all that. He's got all kinds of nifty stuff on here. Let's go see, what does he have in here just in new products? Let's view all of his new products really quickly. In stock. We'll take anything else already been sold. So he has an RTX 4080 Super 16 gig for $900. Man. That seems like a really, really good price on that. I almost bought a regular 4080 for $800, but I think at $800 I quit my bidding, and that wasn't even the Super. That was just the regular $800. But I think I had quit my bidding at $800, and then somebody outbid me on it, which I was fine with. I didn't really want to spend that much money on it, but this makes the same amount. This can make the same amount of money on Salad as the 4090 can. So I mean, at $1,000 less, that's not a bad deal. 3060 Ti, 8GB. I'm not super sold on the card. I'd probably much rather have this 3080 10GB. I don't really want to buy 3080 10GB. Man, these cards are reliable on Salad. They are reliable. GPU riser splitter. I think I remember what this is. I don't remember if these things really work all that well or not. I think that splits everything into like a one lane or something weird like that. I don't really remember. I never used any of these. I looked at them and thought about them and just wound up deciding to look too funky. He's got a couple kind of crazy. Oh, why am I blanking on what these are called now? ASIC miners. So like these are, for the most part, they're much better if you live somewhere where it's cold. You just buy them so you can plug them in the winter. You set it up so you can make money, so you can get paid to run an extra little space heater. It's pretty much what they're really good for. You're not likely to necessarily hit anything on them, but they can be good for that. Let's see, some extra power cable stuff, some more graphics cards. Somebody's gonna look really cool. I gotta stop looking at this. I'm gonna want to buy a bunch more graphics cards. Another little ASIC machine. He's got all the like cool stuff he just kind of got in. The mini Doge version 1. That might not be too bad. That's probably much better than space heaters than some of these other ones. I don't know how much these other ones are actually making right now, but Doge is supposed to be kind of pumping a little bit. But he keeps those prices all pretty decent and comparable, so competitive. So yeah, between PC Shop and PC Part Picker, I think that's pretty good how I can do to show you kind of what I do. I don't really want to show eBay and the Facebook Marketplace as much because I don't want to show private persons like information for like the sellers. If everybody be like, oh, you know, I don't even want to have anybody go message somebody and be like, oh, I saw your eBay post on somebody's random YouTube video. I just don't want to deal with that. It's hard finding deals on there sometimes too. I spend a lot of hours looking and mostly find nothing. But sometimes like you can get really good things on like memory to fill out some of the other PCs that I have. In your neighborhood Facebook Marketplace, you can find good deals on PCs. Like some of them you can find like real cheap. If you find one with like a 2060 in it, or I guess even like as I was told, like a 16 like a 1650 Ti or 1650 Super in it, like you might be able to still go find a job for that. Like that may still be, you may be able to just plug that thing right in, you know, $400 or $500 and get it to start chopping. It may not chop a lot. It may not be that super energy efficient. But it might not be terrible. So, still trying to find random deals as you can works. I know, like with a lot of mine too, like when I was buying the graphics cards at the beginning of the last bull run with ETH, like the only way to buy the 30 series graphics card was to buy the whole PC. So I bought the whole PC. So I started with a lot of PCs. And then I just kind of slowly worked on converting them over. So some of them, when I still have to do with some of them when I try upgrading, I've got to come in here and plug in the motherboard and see what kind of memory can I upgrade it to, how much memory can that motherboard take. Do I have to worry about the speed of the memory, which is one that kind of gets me, because someone's like, oh, if it takes DDR4, it takes DDR4, and if it takes 64 gigabytes of DDR4, it should take all of it. But some of them only want like 2100, and some of them you could do the full 3200, and it can become a headache. More of like the CPUs, because I don't know the different generations. I don't know any of that by heart. So trying to figure out which motherboards and which CPUs can go into which motherboards. I definitely use that on here all the time to try to figure out, so I know. But yeah, that's kind of how I do stuff. I pull out the calculator. I write notes. I got lots of notes written up here on like pricing. So like the one I wrote, the price I'd want to pay for graphics cards, which as I look at it now, that was my pricing from 4 months ago, so it's not good anymore at all. I don't want to pay that. I don't want to pay that. I don't want to pay that anymore. Power supply, I have written between $50 to $100. I think the one I'm actually using, though, right now, I'm paying about $70 for an 800 watt gold. I don't think it's too bad. Let's see, I have Brandon's combo kits written down. He used to offer a 10 core kit, but it was like the same price, so I didn't really see the point in getting the 10 core kit for the same price. If you could just get the 12 cores, get the extra 2 cores. I'm all about making small gains wherever it's cheap. Try to help future-proof everything. So, and then yeah, I think we went through all the rest of those notes already. The only other thing I guess I would have to go back to this really quickly for his combo kits, categories, motherboards, combo kits. So one other thing to mention about this, because this is a server motherboard, this can use the ECC REG, what does REG stand for? Registered, ECC registered memory. So I believe when he ships this out, it comes with the ECC registered memory. It's normally a little cheaper than your normal desktop RAM, but you can put desktop RAM in these, but you can't put that ECC registered RAM into a desktop. It'll only work on a server graded motherboard. So that's one thing to pay attention to. Memory only goes the one way. You can't use it both ways. But you can put normal desktop memory in here. It has 4 slots. So it comes with 64. It gives you 2 gigs of 32. So to be honest, what I did right off the bat was I took all of the memory and I put it all in like 4 of them. And then I just put desktop RAM in those. Because I wanted to see what the effect of higher RAM would do, if it would do anything. And to what I've seen, everything above 64, it doesn't really do anything. But on my 40 series cards, I still have 96 on, I believe, all of them, or most of them. Most of them, not on all of them. On most of them. Just because with Salad, there was an error in the way they let them write code. I don't know if it's still in there or not. It might still be, where it does something funny, where sometimes it lets the memory balloon out of control. So within reason, I want to be able to hold that job for as long as possible. So if the memory does start getting out of control, I figure that 96, well over double what the maximum is. I should be pretty good. But 64 is definitely plenty enough. I mean, most of the machines I'm building now that I'm feeling like I've ran out of my initial investment I want to put into this, so now I need to make the money to earn everything to put back into it. I'm being stingier now, so now I'm just putting 64 in everything. If I were to do it with the 30 series card, I may be fine with just putting 32 in there. Other than the 3090. The 3090, I think I still want 64, just in case it does pick up a job for 3090. I don't want it to be like shorting on RAM and not be able to get the actual 3090 job if it has that chance. But, yeah. I feel not like I've gone off on a plenty long enough tangent. This is a 40-minute video. I knew it was going to wind up getting long. I was hoping it was going to be shorter than this, but I knew there was a good chance. So once I started looking at other video card options, that gets out of control really quick and easy. So a lot of it too, like I'm trying to price the parts out. You got to figure out what's a good price for you in your area. I definitely feel like his is NVIDIA GPUs. You can only use NVIDIA. You can't use the AMD for Salad because they don't run on CUDA. I like his pricing on these is pretty top notch. If you can find anything for less than this, definitely you probably want to buy it. Otherwise, I mean, these are definitely some pretty good, reasonable prices. So, yeah, I think I've shilled plenty hard enough. Alright, guys. I'm going to go spend some time with the wife before she goes to bed. So, I'll see you later. Peace.